Throughout history, there have been many brutal and barbaric execution methods used upon prisoners. Some, such as keel hauling, resulted in someone being slaughtered by their terrifying ordeal as they would be dragged under a ship, but other methods, such as hanging, drawing and quartering, had a number of stages to the death, each one worse and more horrific than the one that went previously. There were even execution methods that utilised animals, such as being thrown to the beasts, where people during the Roman period were thrown to animals and were forced to fight dangerous ones, such as lions, who usually carried out the wishes of the emperor with much bloodshed in front of huge crowds. But one of the most terrifying methods was known as flaying, and this was a terrifying process in which the skin of someone was removed, and executioners made different attempts to keep the victim alive during this. Welcome to the Fortress. To support our channel, please make sure to subscribe. Flaying of humans has been used throughout history as a method of execution and also torture, and it could be fatal if more skin was removed, and this was also said to have been known as flaying alive. The skin of someone could be removed also after death, and the desecration of the corpse could be linked to preventing someone getting into the afterlife for their crimes. But it was also said that the cause of death when it came to flaying was from shock, a huge amount of blood loss, and also infection caused to the area where the skin had been removed. Death could also occur a number of hours and even a few days after the skin had been removed from an area, and also as the skin provides a significant degree of natural insulation to the body, victims could also die from hypothermia. It was claimed that flaying took place during the Neo-Assyrian times, and that flaying is seen inside of images. These images show the Assyrians flaying their prisoners alive. The carvings show the prisoners are being flayed on their thighs and on other body parts such as their lower legs, but the kings of this time seemed to be very happy and they boasted about their actions in flaying prisoners alive, and it was a punishment method given out to rebel leaders. It was claimed that, "I have made a pillar facing the city gate and have flayed all the rebel leaders. I have clad the pillar in their flayed skins. I let the leaders of the conquered cities be flayed, and clad the city walls with their skins. The captives I have killed by the sword, and flung on the dung heap." An artefact known as a Rassam cylinder, housed inside of the British Museum, says on this, "Their corpses they hung on stakes. They took off their skins and covered the city wall with them." Flaying, or the removal of flesh, was also performed during the medieval period in Europe for those who were executed for being traitors, as this was seen as a very serious problem. In England in 1303, the treasury of Westminster Abbey was robbed and a lot of money was stolen that belonged to King Edward I. This was a very serious crime, and Edward, who was known as the Hammer of the Scots, was known for being someone who you did not want to steal from. He then had 48 monks arrested and interrogated, and there were 3 monks, including senior figures within Westminster Abbey, who were found guilty of stealing from the king, and these were then flayed. The skin of these monks was then hanged from 3 doors to serve as a stark warning not to steal from the king. But inside of China, the practice was also used to remove skin from the faces of many corrupt government officials. But it was a brutal and barbaric execution method which was very feared. During the Viking raids in England, the Vikings were said to have flayed Londoners in 991 AD, and allegedly human skin was even found on a church door. In 1831, following the execution of Nat Turner, a slave rebellion leader in Virginia, his body was flayed, and his skin was even used to make purses for souvenirs. Flaying was linked to some of the most brutal and ruthless dynasties and leaders throughout history, and it was without doubt a terrifying execution and torture method. Thanks for watching. To support our channel, please make sure to subscribe, and once again, thank you so much for watching.